Folks, I've had one of my good friends ask me about how he could shoot maybe a pastor preaching at a church and match the audio up from, say he shoots the video with a Hero 3 or Hero 4 or GoPro, but he wants the audio to sound better. He's been talking about the fact that maybe he has his GoPro 10, 12, 14 feet back from the podium, back from the pulpit. And of course, you're going to pick up a whole lot of the sound of the room, of the sanctuary, I guess, rather than the preacher talking. He wants his audio to sound good for the preacher. So the thing I'd recommend is maybe he gets a Zoom H1, something like this. And so now he's asking how close or far away should the mic be from the preacher. You have some options here, I'm going to say to my friend. First of all, you can have this up in the pulpit, somewhere there kind of close. I would say 2.5, 3 feet away from him. And but the problem with preachers is a lot of times, especially in the South, they like to move around. They'll get off and wander. And if he walks away from that microphone, you're getting nothing. So the thing I would recommend is this mic that I have on my neck here, going into this Zoom H1. I think it's called a Sony ECM3 or something like that. If I had that wrong, I'll put the annotation. This little microphone you can buy for like 14 or 16 bucks or something off Amazon. And they're stellar sounding. They sound really as good as the mics, almost as good to me as the mics that are on this. So you plug it up, the audio comes off of this rather than that. You can snake this little wire down inside of your shirt or, whatever, put it on a lapel. The little thing on there turns so that you can put it to the left or right or whatever. But to me, that would be the best thing, is just ask the preacher to stick this in his pocket, in his lapel pocket or in his pants pocket or whatever. You can see it. There's a little thing here called hold. If I push that hold forward, it goes into a little thing called hold mode there. Maybe you can see that. Or it went kind of fast. But now I can't turn this off. If I press the record button, or if I accidentally bump something, it still records. So there you go. You could put that, you just ask him to put that in his pocket. And then what you could do is at the end of the sermon, you collect this from him, turn it off. I'm recording a 320 kilobyte per second MP3. And then you could just match this up with your software, with your Premiere or your iMovie or whatever other editing software you're using. You could match this up with your video. And the other thing I would recommend is, I don't know how your video is looking 12, 14 feet away with a GoPro. I would typically try to get that thing maybe a little closer. There are these monopods that I use that are really kind of cool. It's a tripod. It looks like a monopod, but the legs screw up inside it and then they pull out. Maybe I'll shoot a video of it to explain what it is. But if you could get one of those monopods and in a discreet way put the GoPro closer to the pulpit, maybe even right up there in the pulpit, but wide enough so that he doesn't, if he ranges 3 or 4 feet this way or the other way, it still gets him. Or just shoot from where you've been shooting. He's asked me some questions about getting closer looks and everything too. But this is definitely the way I'd handle the audio. So hopefully you're getting how this audio sounds. And I'll turn the audio off for a minute here. So now I've got it turned off and you're hearing just straight what comes out of the camcorder. So the camcorder I'm using right now is a Sony FDR AX33, and it's about 3 feet back from me. So probably you're hearing some of the room right now, and you're hearing that it's not as clear as what comes off this. Now I'll switch back to this. So you can see how that would make a much more satisfying sort of audio for the people to listen to if they're watching the sermon after the fact. I hope this has helped. I very much love these little recorders. They're sleek and they're easy to use. They're cheap. I think it's like $79, $89. I think it really improves your video to have good audio matched up to it. So that's it. Quick little video for my best practices for recording audio for a sermon. And true, if it looks like the guy's 1,000 miles away on your GoPro video, figure out some way to get that camera a little closer to him. But they're even like little monopods that are, or not monopods, but tripods that are about 2 or 3, 10, 12 inches tall, 8, 9 inches tall. You could put the GoPro on top of one of those, not an H2, but a GoPro, and put it right there in the pulpit, right on the front of the podium or something like that, and it will get, probably, if you put it in wide field of view, it'll get 3 or 4 feet to either side of the preacher, even though it's only 2 feet away. So that's another option. Once again, it all depends on just how mobile your preacher is when he's preaching. And it's, like I said, I know that in the South, a lot of them, they'll just range all out. I would think that this way, rather than putting this on a tripod or just sitting it in the podium would be better. They could walk around and have it in their pocket. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe if you like.